The night parrot has long been one of Australia's most mysterious birds. Like the name says, it's a nocturnal parrot, which is pretty unusual in itself. And since about 1880 until 1990, there was a lot of intrigue and mystery around it. But since then, we've learned a lot more about them and where they are, where they survive.
And how much in danger is this particular bird?
Well, it would seem to be up there among the most endangered of Australian birds. It's good that it's hung on throughout the 20th century, but we only know of very low numbers in Queensland at the moment and a few places in Western Australia, so it's definitely among our most endangered birds.
Okay, with a view to ensuring it survives for many decades hence, tell us about how you went about getting hold of the bird's genetic blueprint.
Well, it was a classic example of teamwork and collaboration. The traditional owners in the Pilbara gave permission for the study of a bird that was found, unfortunately, dead a few years ago. The Western Australian Museum and our collaborators there gave us a little piece of tissue from which we were able to sequence DNA here at the Applied Genomics Initiative of CSIRO and at the Wildlife Collection. The sequencing was actually done at the Australian National University in a facility supported by Bioplatforms Australia, and the actual details of naming all the genes in the genome was done by GenBank in the US. So it was a huge effort.
Fantastic effort, and as you say, a great example of collaboration. So what happens now? How can you use that genetic blueprint for positive effect in terms of ensuring this bird survives?
Yeah, well, if you think about it, imagine that we had the DNA for 180 years and that we've only just discovered what the bird looks like. So that would be pretty exciting. So it is that in reverse. Now that we have the DNA, we can probe it to understand the genetic basis to some of the bird's more interesting biology, and we can use it as a really important tool to understand and map the genetic diversity that the bird does or doesn't have in its remaining populations. So we can bring a genetic dimension to its conservation, as well as understanding its ecology and more immediate threats like feral cats eating them.
What a fantastic effort. Yeah, no, we don't want feral cats getting anywhere near the night parrot, that's for sure. Dr. Leo Joseph, or for that matter any species, from the CSIRO, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat about that, as I said, terrific initiative.
Thanks for having me.